Guys, Will here with W.T.F car reviews, and today we're going to be reviewing the all-new 2023 BMW X3 M40i.
And a huge thanks to Aramis and the rest of the management and staff here at BMW of Tampa for making this review possible. I'll leave a link to their inventory below, and if you're in the Tampa area looking for a new premium or performance vehicle, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out and ask for Aramis.
And for those of you guys who don't know, the X3 has been BMW's compact luxury crossover SUV since 2003. That's when the first generation was released. The third generation X3 that you see here was released for the 2018 model year, facelifted for 2022, and for 2023 we don't have that many changes, but we do have a couple, starting with gesture control being removed from the premium package and skyscraper gray metallic now being available on all models. The X3 starts off at the S-Drive+30i trim level, which includes a 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder cranking out 248 horsepower, 258 pound-feet of torque. Enough to get that SUV to 60 in around 6 seconds. You can upgrade about $2,000 to the X-Drive at $47,400 for the base price, or you can go all out with one of the M models, starting with the X3 M40i that you see here, starting at $59,950 for 2023, so up a couple $1,000. Still coming equipped with a B58 inline straight 6 turbo engine, cranking out a most likely underrated 382 horsepower, 369 pound-feet of torque. Enough to get this SUV to 60 around 4 seconds, which is a no-joke performer. I believe Car and Driver got the 2023 in 4.1 seconds and the 2022 in an even 4.0. The 2022 and 2023 X3 M40i's also come equipped with a 48-volt mild hybrid system, which help low-end torque tremendously. You can also go all out for the X3M, which gets the same engine out of the BMW M3, the S58 engine, starting at $72,900. That motor cranks out 473 horsepower, 457 pound-feet of torque, enough to get that SUV to 60 as low as 3.6 seconds. But again, this is the X3 M40i for 2023, starting a tick under 60,000 bucks. What do we get for that money? Let's jump right in. So up front, you notice your full LED headlamps, LED high and low beam, LED daytime running strip 2. It says BMW LED. Right outside on the corner, we have full front parking sensing on the M40i. We don't get the 50th anniversary BMW badge on this M40i, but we have reviewed a couple trim levels with that badge on this channel. M badge on the grille, forward-facing camera, very subtle shiny chrome on the grille area. Definitely not going to knock them too much, with some pretty stiff supports in front of your radiator. Down below, we can get a good look at our intercooler, functional airflow all throughout. Very nice overall. But anyway, wheel and tire setup on this 2023 M40i. We can check it out. We got a nice black and silver contrast with a 4-piston red M brake caliper. The tires are Pirelli Cinturato all seasons, dimensions being 245/50 R19s. Not the best when it comes to performance, but with the standard X-Drive all-wheel drive and a square 245 setup, should still put the power down with no issues. Side sensor, which aids with the 360. We do get a 360 on this SUV. Functional heat extractor, blacked out mirrors with a camera on the mirror, also helping out your 360. Smart access for all 4. I'll take a step back. Hopefully you can get a good idea of this SUV's side profile. Very aggressive looking. It's very slung back with a very large hood area. Aggressive design. Up top we get roof rails and also like a blacked out roof. Hopefully I can pick it up for you guys thanks to that moonroof. I'll take one more step closer. Hopefully you get a good idea. All blacked out for the window trim. No shiny chrome anywhere on this SUV. Out rear, same wheel and tire setup. Only difference is a smaller brake caliper, but it's still painted red. Very nice touch. Another side sensor out rear. Full LED for the taillights. These were updated for 2022. Turn signals and reverse lights. Not a functional heat extractor out rear, but it does aid with the aggressive styling. X3 M40i badge, BMW in the center. We'll take a squat back here, check out our pretty aggressive diffuser and dual exhaust tips. And speaking of the dual exhaust tips, let's fire up this B58 3-liter turbo straight 6 and hear how she sounds. All right, guys, that was the sound of the B58 twin scroll turbo straight six sold by BMW for the 2023 X3 M40i, and it sounds really good. And as we know by now, most likely underrated. BMW advertises it at 382 horsepower, 369 pound-feet of torque. But as we know by now, that number is most likely either close to or at the wheel horsepower numbers. So very powerful motor, enough to get this near 4,400 pound SUV to 60 in 4 seconds. So almost certainly underrated. You see the strut tower braces and additional supports in front of your radiator. But what we see is basically what we get. We can shut this hood right up, take one more step back, get a good look at the front styling. Very aggressive. Again, this is probably my favorite SUV, sport SUV for the money, under 60,000 bucks. I know we are up on price compared to 2022, but still, with a base price under $60,000, this is most likely the best you're gonna get for a performance per dollar luxury SUV. For the interior, we get stitching up top, real wood trim. Beneath that, aluminum door handle lock and unlock, 2-person memory seats, X on the door panel too. Very soft armrest, leather for the center, auto one touch for all 4, power mirrors, power folding 2 with a trunk release as well. We get 2 speakers on the door panel, solid storage. You'll fit like a massive big gulp in that cup holder, easily fit 2 footlongs in here too. It's just hard plastic, not lined with felt, but still very solid for storage. M door sill or nameplate as we step inside. The seats are very beautiful beige, tan, leather perforated, solid bolstering. It's not adjustable bolstering, but we do get adjustable thigh support with fully adjustable seats. You can recline, drop, lift, and slide. Taking a step inside though, we can really check it out. So first thing we notice is the massive BMW M steering wheel. We'll fire up this 3-liter B58, get the AC rolling because it is a hot day today in Tampa, Florida. It says 95 degrees in this X3. But again, speaking of the steering wheel, we get blue and red contrast stitching for the horn area, the horn itself. Pretty aggressive sounding horn. People will definitely be getting out of your way. Heated steering wheel too. M steering wheel, of course. On the left side, we get our cruise control settings. On the right side, you can answer and hang up your phone calls, adjust your heads-up display. Hopefully I can pick up that heads-up display on camera. The adjustments are pretty basic. You can take a look at your radio settings, AM radio, Sirius, see all the stations that are currently available. But my personal favorite would just to be looking at the digital speedo with the traffic sign recognition right next to it. Also, we can adjust the volume of our songs, skip our songs too. Aluminum paddle shifters with aluminum surrounding the steering wheel itself. Very premium looking M steering wheel. Always super thick, massive 10-2 bolstering notch, 9-3 fits great in your hands. Turn signal stocks have a great click too. Auto headlamps, auto high beams. We also get auto rain sensing wipers, appreciated feature for basically a base BMW X3 M40i. The auto headlamps are on the right side. We have parking lights too. Interior brightness, air vents are outlined in aluminum. Stitching for the dashboard. Solid sound system. It's just a base sound system, but it still sounds very good. More wood trim, massive 12-inch touchscreen. The response is perfect. It's like an iPhone. Response to your touch very, very well. The home screen, you can see everything that's available in it. Okay, so we have our screen still, see what song's playing, and our date and time. We get car settings, apps, communication, and media. The car settings, let's see what we have available. Driving information, vehicle status. That includes our TPMS, engine oil level, check control messages, and our required services. All available on this screen. We get settings, driver profiles, owner's manual, and regulatory notes. So pretty cool. We get trip data, sport displays, driving style analysis, X view, so off-road, and our energy flow you can see at all times. Sport displays, we get G-forces, PSI, coolant temperature, we can see our torque and horsepower at all times too. Very cool. X view includes our compass. You can see surround view. It's not really adjustable, but we do see our pitch and roll and sway degrees, as well as our elevation. We're only 16 feet above sea level right now in Tampa, Florida. Energy flow, you can see where the power is going and your mild hybrid system too, and everything available as well. My personal favorite to look at all times would just be this home screen where you can see the map, you can see the song that's playing, and the communication. Air vents, of course, dual zone auto climate control, heated seats, no cooled seats. It would be nice to get cooled seats standard on a $60,000 SUV, but again, this car is all about performance and it definitely does not compromise that. Beneath that, we have presets. You can skip your songs, volume adjustments, satisfying click. It does feel a little bit cheap and flimsy, but really not going to knock them too badly. You can always adjust your volume on the steering wheel. M on this little center area, we have a wireless charging pad and an M digital key. 2 cup holders with a 12-volt 2. You can shut this thing up. I got a bunch of stuff that'll probably be in the way, but you can shut this cubby up and it'll be a nice clean look. some piano black surrounding the gear selector. In a good location, it's not going to be covered in fingerprints. We have some soft touch materials for where your knee will often hit. You can disable your traction control. Take a look at your parking cameras at all times. This is your backup camera. You press it one more time, it returns us right to our home screen. You can disable your parking sensors with this button: engine, start, stop, sport, comfort, eco, pro. We'll start this review off in sport mode, transition into comfort, and just see what the differences are. Hill descent control, electronic parking brake with auto hold. If you don't want to mess around the touchscreen, you also get a hard dial with shortcuts, media, home, map, communication, and navigation. Back in option 2, but the touchscreen has a great response to it, so I'd recommend just using that. The gear selector controls your 8-speed automatic transmission. We can take a quick look at the backup camera one more time. We get guidance lines and trajectory, and a 360 with some extremely high resolution. Camera image is adjustable by the click of a button. You can do the brightness, contrast, parking A lines, and the obstacle mark. Backup assistant too, it tells you exactly how many feet away the obstacles are. We get automated parking too. I'm not going to test that out in this SUV, but it's still very nice to have. You put this thing into drive, and we stay in our backup camera. It doesn't transition us to the forward-facing camera for some reason, which is kind of odd, but not going to knock him too badly. We'll just back it up right back where we were. Okay, throw it back into park. One complaint that I do have is that we don't leave our backup camera. We don't leave the screen from our backup camera. I can see why, because as you see, it shows us our doors and shows if there's any oncoming cars and gives you a warning for it. But it will also be nice that as soon as you go to park, it automatically returns you to the home screen. But you can also just press the home button, so it's not too bad of a complaint. If you don't want to use the great aluminum paddle shifters, we also get manual shift controls on the gear selector in the proper direction to upshift and to downshift. But again, throw right back in the park, check it out. The gear selector returns to park for you. We get a pretty soft leatherette armrest. Storage space is not massive, but it's solid. You'll fit a 6-pack of 12-ounce cans, USB-C port, and an interior light in there too. Aluminum grab handle for the glove box. The outside of it is rubberized, the inside of it is lined with felt, and it's large. I'd expect you to fit 20, maybe 25 license plates. You'll fit a pair of shoes in there. You're probably not fitting a second pair, but solid size for the glove box. The rear view mirror is basically frameless, very thin frame. We get 3 garage home link settings on it too. The interior lights are LED. Cool. We can open up the shade, or we can open up the sunroof or moonroof in general. It is a massive dual panel of glass. The first panel is not the largest, but the second panel, as you see, it basically goes on forever. And as soon as the shade opens up, okay, you have to actually double click it for the moonroof to open. We'll see how far it goes. Opens pretty quickly, pretty far out. See if it goes any further. It does. Wow, so basically all the way out to the end of the front row. We can poke our way out of here. Beautiful day today in Tampa, Florida. It's sunny and 95 degrees, but we'll shut this moonroof right up. We'll leave the shade open so when we hop out back, we can see how much light is brought into the cabin. That's about it though for the front seat of this 2023 X3 M40i. We'll take a quick look at the window sticker, see any features that I may have missed. So again, 2023 X3 M40i, base price is up from 2022, but we're still sitting under 60K, 650 for this Phytonic Blue Metallic, 700 for the Parking Assistance package, which includes Parking Assistance Plus, Active Park Distance Control, and the Surround View 360 view. $13.50 for the premium package, which includes heated steering wheel, heated front seats, but deletes the gesture control that we had from 2022. $300 for the remote start. You get a $100 credit for the deletion of the hands-free tailgate OPE. Not quite sure what the OPE stands for, maybe like opener, operation, whatever. $500 for the wireless charging pad. About $1,000 for the destination. Totals us out at $64,345. It's getting up there in price, but we're getting a ton of performance in this vehicle. The 3-liter B58 twin power turbo 6-cylinder, 24-valve, 48-volt mild hybrid system, 8-speed sport, automatic transmission, xDrive all-wheel drive with an adaptive M suspension. You can pause, take a look at the rest of the standard features. It's solid on gas, 23 mpgs, 21 city, 26 on the highway. We can put this window sticker away. Before we hop out back, let's get a quick look at this 12-inch digital instrument cluster. Very nice display with a map in the center, M40i up top, 160 for the speedometer with a digital speedo in the center, fuel level to the left of it. On the right, it's not a true tach in comfort mode. It just gives us a power percentage indicator. You can throw it into sport, and things change up a little bit. Now we get a tach that goes to about 6,700 RPM. We get Sport Plus, Sport Individual, and just regular Sport mode. That's about it though for the display. It's not the most configurable. We'll take a step out back. Before we do that, we have some secret storage. This can function as an ashtray if that's what you're into. No power tilt and telescope for the steering wheel, but the latch is down below. Get a quick look at your pedals. 2 pulls for the hood latch. Okay, that's about it for the front seat. That should be literally everything. Out rear, we can take a look at the materials. So up top, still get that stitching, wood beneath that, leatherette trim in the center with a pretty soft armrest, auto one touch 2. We get 2 speakers on the door panel with another X on it. We can move this piece of paper out of the way. Still perforated for the rear seats. The padding goes all the way out to the door frame, so very couch-like. Legroom looks solid. I'm a little bit over 6 feet tall, sitting behind my seat settings, and I still have plenty of space, at least 2 inches of knee room, plenty of room for my feet. Headroom, I have at least like 3-4 inches before my head will start to touch. We get air vents, true 3rd zone climate too, 2 USB-C ports, cargo nets behind both of the front seats, ton of light brought into the cabin thanks to this massive panoramic moonroof. The center cubby gets a string so we don't have to jab our hand through it. The cup holders, you press this button, they open right up. 2 cup holders with these rubbery things to keep your drinks in place. You'll fit 12 ounces. I wouldn't expect you to fit much more than that. We can put this thing right back. That's about it. The interior lights are LED. Cool. We'll hop out into the cargo space real quick, see how much space is offered back there, and then take this 2023 X3 M40i out for a drive. So underneath the BMW badge, we get a button for this electric tailgate, and it's an impressive cargo space. I forgot just how low this step-in was. As I mentioned, I'm a little bit over 6 feet tall, and my knee is at the same exact level as this opening. So if you have older or smaller pets, they won't have any issues hopping in the back of the X3 M40i. The cargo space, again, it's impressive. The rear seats fall down 40, 40, 20. We get a cargo net here. It's a good spot for some grocery bags so they're not flying all over the place. We get some additional storage inside of this little cubby. Throw some secret stuff in there. Underneath, we have our battery stuff. Cool, hopefully you can pick it up on camera. That's about it though for this cargo space. We don't get a subwoofer back here, not an upgraded sound system in this basically base X3 M40i. We can shut this thing up by simply pressing this tailgate button. It closes pretty quickly. It doesn't give you much of a heads up too, so be careful if you're holding a lot of shopping bags. That's about it though. We'll do one last quick walk around of this 2023 BMW X3 M40i. This has been one of my favorite SUVs on the road for quite some time now. Even with the price increase, I still think it's one of the greatest performance values for the segment on the road. But speaking of that, let's take this 2023 X3 M40i out for a drive. All right, guys, now we're just about seen everything we need to see with the inside and outside of the 2023 BMW X3 M40i. Let's take it out for a drive. And we're gonna start off in Sport Plus mode, because when there's an M on your steering wheel, that's just what the car wants. So we'll start off in Sport Plus, transition into regular Sport. Try out Comfort mode too and just see what the overall differences are. For Sport Plus, we'll use the paddles. Step out into this multiple lane highway as soon as we get the chance, and I'll catch right back with you. All right, guys, taking a step out here. We'll lean into it a little bit. First gear on the gas. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so when you lean into it, it lights up showing E boost too. And it didn't hold the gear. So in order for it to hold the manual shifts, you have to actually slap it into the S mode on the gear selector. But rev match downshifts are aggressive. But first gear on the gas, boost, rev limiter. Good God, this thing can pull hard. This is such a monster of an SUV. Wow. And the transmission, it shifts quick. The boost is built quickly. Obviously the e-boost helps a lot. The 48 volt mild hybrid system, it helps offset the lack of immediate torque with the turbos. All right, guys, ready, off the line, let's go. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we catch up to traffic really quickly. Good God, this is a fast SUV. I'll try to give these guys some space. Maybe we can get onto a highway one more time, but wow, this thing just has some very impressive acceleration. Throw it into the manual shifts, third gear, merging onto a highway, on the gas. Yeah, I keep forgetting that this gas pedal has that clicky thing at the bottom. So when you click the full throttle, like, okay, so there's full throttle and then there's a little button past full throttle. If you press that button, it automatically downshifts you into the most efficient gear, which is good for performance. But again, if you want to do like a real pull in a non-optimal gear, you're gonna have to avoid going really full throttle. But highway pull, drop it down to fourth, third, on the gas. Oh, yeah, it's really impressive how this vehicle can pick up speed. For a 4,400 pound SUV, it truly feels like this motor can put out closer to like 420 horsepower. Unbelievably strong. Hopefully you can pick up the downshifts. Sounds really nice. Whew, the handling is just so good. Brakes feel great. This is so much fun for the money. If you're looking for a 5-passenger SUV, you want a smile on your face and you don't want to pay more than $60,000, $65,000, I'm telling you, this is just so much for the money. The Volvo XC60 Recharge, performance-wise, it's similar doing 0 to 60 numbers, but it's not as thrilling. Let's be real, it can't be anywhere near as thrilling as this B58. It builds power so well. We'll try one more acceleration out in sport mode, and then we'll calm down, try out comfort mode, and see if that's the mode where I would keep it in for daily driving. But honestly, I don't think so. This sport mode is just so much fun. All right, guys, second gear, a little pull. Oh, yeah, those gear shifts are just so ridiculously quick. Yeah, throwing it in, the steering feels excellent. On the gas. What a great performer. Okay, we've had enough fun. We'll throw it into comfort mode. Take it out of the manual shifts. It gets quieter. This is an active exhaust, but even in sport mode, the exhaust isn't very loud. The steering gets a little bit lighter, but it still feels direct. It's never really that heavy. Even in sport mode, it's not a very heavy steering rack. Compared to like the 2016 BMW M4 that we reviewed in this channel, this is a much lighter rack. So if you're used to those old BMWs and you're just not a big fan of the way that the steering is just so obnoxiously heavy, you're not gonna have a problem here at all. In comfort mode, everything calms down tremendously. It's very quiet interior. We'll do a window check. I don't believe we get dual panes, we don't, but it's a thick single pane of glass, similar to the Volvo cars. And overall, it's a great SUV. I've been saying it for a while now. This is probably my favorite SUV on the road today for the money. Obviously, my favorite overall SUV is probably like a BMW X5M competition, but that SUV is over $120,000. For a $60,000 base price, you get so much performance for the money. A $60,000 base price is still very expensive, of course. I'm not trying to say that this is a cheap car by any means, but for the performance, luxury, and tech that you get, I really don't see how you can go wrong. If you're looking for a new SUV, you want a smile on your face, you still want to have solid luxury, but you prioritize performance, the 2023 BMW X3 M40i is a great way to go. And a huge thanks to Aramis and the rest of the management and staff here at BMW of Tampa for making this review possible. I'll leave a link to their inventory below, and if you're looking for a new premium or performance vehicle in the Tampa area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out. And huge thanks to all of you for watching. I had a great time making this video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. You guys know the channel is just not possible without you guys, and I really appreciate the constant support. But again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Leave a like too. It really helps me out the YouTube algorithm. That's how these videos get promoted to new people. Leave a comment. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you don't like. Leave a comment. Let me know if there's any specific cars, SUVs, or trucks you'd like to see reviewed on this channel, and I'll definitely try to get those videos for you as soon as possible. Other than that, again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope all of you have a great day.